Hello classy people, this is Josh the Top Hat Gamer, and this week I'm reviewing LEGO Jurassic World. LEGO games seem to be the safest way to adapt any property to the medium of video games. There's few games that can consistently build such entertaining and accessible experiences, so how does LEGO Jurassic World stack up? Let's take a look. Like many other LEGO games, LEGO Jurassic World adapts a beloved movie property and gives it a charming LEGO style while making a few alterations to keep the proceedings as family friendly as possible. Don't let the name fool you though, LEGO Jurassic World doesn't limit itself to the latest movie in the dinosaur-filled series. You can play all 4 stories from the classic Jurassic Park all the way up to Chris Pratt's Raptor adventures if you feel like it, though much like the films, the enjoyment dips for the second and third installments. If you're not overly fond of The Lost World or Jurassic Park 3, then callbacks to moments from those movies might fall flat for you as well. LEGO Jurassic World presents players with a faithful recreation of various movie locations and characters in the signature LEGO style. While not everything is made of LEGO, the mix between somewhat realistic environments and LEGO structures works well and doesn't overload the visuals with too many colourful toy bricks. The visuals are bright and are accompanied by that iconic John Williams score. You know the one. Additionally, the game features voice from the films, but they vary in quality. The later films don't really have this issue, but audio from earlier films sounds patchy at best. Though the game uses voices and music from the films, there are a few changes here and there. The most notable of these is to the overall tone. The game doesn't instill fear or tension like the movies did, and instead goes for a humorous, charming approach like the multitude of LEGO games before it. To give you an example, no one actually dies. People still get eaten, but instead of dying, it's dealt with in a more comedic fashion. Moving on to gameplay, LEGO Jurassic World contains the same building blocks as other LEGO games before it, albeit with a different coat of paint. The majority of the game is built around character-specific puzzles where you'll have to switch between 2 or more characters in your party to complete the level. It's still as engaging as it ever was, and certain character abilities such as building things out of bones or diving enthusiastically into piles of dinosaur poo are awesome ways to adapt the film's characters into varied gameplay mechanics. I would think that Jurassic Park of all properties must be the hardest to pick these powers for. The various superhero LEGO games feature obviously useful powers, but in these films the closest anyone has to a power are science and tracking skills. It sort of helps to explain the presence of more contrived abilities such as the glass-shattering scream, though it still feels like an awkward cop-out for characters that didn't have any useful skills. The game also features some basic platforming and combat on top of the puzzles, and while these are present in all LEGO games so far, I don't think I've found it so annoying before. The combat isn't challenging, but you'll find yourself swarmed by Compsognathus while trying to build LEGO structures or solve puzzles, and it just gets in the way. The platforming is far less aggravating, and though it serves to break up the puzzles nicely, it still doesn't provide much challenge. One of the most unique gameplay mechanics that LEGO Jurassic World brings to the table are chase sections. They're simply on-rails sections where you run away from dinosaurs or vehicles and try to dodge debris as you go. Again, it serves to break up the main gameplay mechanics, so it's certainly not a bad thing. The gameplay is enjoyable for the most part, but it's not without its issues. I found myself falling through the world on multiple occasions, forcing me to restart entire sections of the game. And these occasions weren't difficult to witness and reproduce either. It strikes me as odd that this wouldn't be caught during testing, to be honest. Along with these irritating glitches are a range of AI issues with computer-controlled characters. For instance, one puzzle involves climbing a wall and pulling an elevator switch. Every time the AI was ready to go up on the elevator, they would jump off for no apparent reason. These issues are seriously frustrating. The main stories of LEGO Jurassic World aren't particularly long, but once you've completed a level you can go back and play it in free mode, which allows you to take multiple different characters with you that weren't available during the story. This allows you to go back and solve new puzzles and find various secrets that unlock cheats, playable dinosaurs, and more. In addition, there are 4 fairly large hub worlds to explore with plenty more collectibles to find. Although the gameplay isn't overly challenging and LEGO Jurassic World doesn't add much to the LEGO formula, it manages to be an enjoyable time. Sure, some of the character abilities are really dumb, but there are a few that fit super well, and I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw someone dive into a giant mound of poo was incredible. I laughed my ass off. On top of that, you can explore Jurassic Park and play as dinosaurs. Hell, you can make your own dinosaur. It's just a shame that the game falls down as often as it does. LEGO Jurassic World gets the Top Hat Gamer rating of mediocre. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my time with the game, but it's hard to ignore its many shortcomings. Its patchy audio, noticeable recurring bugs, and annoying combat make for an occasionally disappointing experience, and although the original Jurassic Park and the new Jurassic World sections are a great deal of fun, I found myself getting very worn out during the middle two sections. If you're a fan of LEGO games in general, this is a competent reproduction of the series' signature gameplay. Jurassic Park fans, there are a lot of cute nods to the films, but if you're looking for a challenge or deep mechanics, you've come to the wrong place. Thanks for watching. I hope the review was informative. If you missed last week's video where I recapped what I'm most excited for at E3, click the annotation. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to go jump in some poop, because damn that is funny.